You think that smart lock makes you safer? It might actually be the reason your house gets broken into, or worse, how you lose total control of your own life to a company you've never even heard of. And I'm not talking about some guy in a hoodie hacking your Wi-Fi. I'm talking about something completely legal that you agreed to when you clicked accept. We need to talk about the trade-off we all made without realizing it. We traded our privacy, our security, and even the ownership of our own homes for the convenience of turning on the lights without getting off the couch. Look, I love tech. I have the smart speakers, the robot vacuums, the works. But there is a very dark underbelly to the smart home industry that is practically invisible until it's too late. We are going to dig into the 4 major threats that are sitting in your living room right now, including one specific danger that almost nobody talks about because it's honestly terrifying. By the end of this, you might not want to throw your Alexa in the trash, but you will definitely want to change your settings. Let's start with the biggest lies we are sold. The idea that your home is still your private castle. It's not. When you fill your house with smart sensors, you are effectively turning your home into a data mine. And I don't just mean that Amazon knows you buy too many paper towels. I mean they are building a pattern of life profile on you. Let me paint a picture for you. You buy a smart thermostat, a smart lock, and maybe a few smart plugs. Individually, these devices are dumb. The thermostat knows it's hot. The lock knows the door is open. But when you connect them all to a central hub, like a Google Home or Amazon Alexa, you are feeding an algorithm a detailed map of your daily existence. They know exactly when you leave for work. They know when you go to sleep. They know when you are on vacation. There was a report recently regarding a very popular robot vacuum cleaner. It wasn't just cleaning the floors. It was mapping the layout of the house. That seems normal, right? It needs to know where the furniture is so it doesn't bump into it. But then, images taken by that development version of the vacuum ended up on social media. Photos of people on the toilet. Photos of children. Now you might say, well, I have nothing to hide. That is the wrong way to look at it. It's not about hiding crimes. It's about the value of that data. Insurance companies are dying to get their hands on this. Imagine your smart fridge tracks what you eat. Too much red meat, not enough veggies. That data gets sold to a broker who sells it to your health insurance provider. Suddenly, your premiums go up because you're a high risk for heart disease. Or maybe your smart car tracks that you drive a little too fast on weekends. There goes your safe driver discount. This isn't sci-fi. This is the business model. These companies don't make money selling you a $30 smart speaker. They lose money on the hardware. They make the money on you. You are the product. But let's go deeper. Let's talk about security. And not the change your password advice you've heard a million times. I'm talking about the weakest link theory. You probably have a decent lock on your front door. You probably have a password on your laptop. But what about that cheap smart light bulb you bought online for $10? Or that Wi-Fi connected fish tank thermometer? There is a famous story in the cybersecurity world about a casino in Las Vegas. This casino had millions of dollars in cybersecurity defense. Firewalls, encryption, security teams. But hackers managed to steal the casino's database of high-roller gamblers. How did they get in? Through the smart thermometer in the lobby fish tank. See, these cheap smart gadgets have terrible security. They are rushed to market to make a quick buck. Once a hacker gets into the fish tank thermometer, they are inside the Wi-Fi network. From there, they can jump to the computer that holds the credit card numbers. In your house, that fish tank is your smart toaster. If a hacker gets access to your network through a cheap bulb, they can intercept the video feed from your baby monitor. This happens all the time. There are horrifying videos online of hackers talking through baby monitors, screaming at children or parents in the middle of the night. It creates a feeling of violation that is hard to describe. You think you are safe in your bed, but the device you bought to protect your family is the very thing letting the bad guys in. And it's not just about one hacker targeting you, it's about botnets. A few years ago, a massive attack called the Mirai botnet took down huge chunks of the internet. It shut down Netflix, Twitter, and Reddit. And it didn't do it using computers. It used smart cameras and DVR players. Hackers took over hundreds of thousands of these devices in people's homes without the owners knowing. and used them as a digital army to attack servers. Your coffee maker could be attacking the Pentagon right now, and you wouldn't even know it. Now we need to move to the darkest chapter of this story. This is the part that makes my stomach turn, and it's the part that tech companies are really struggling to fix. It's called tech abuse. Domestic violence isn't just about physical harm anymore. It's about control. In the old days, if a partner was abusive, the victim could try to leave or lock the door. But what happens when the abuser controls the house from an app on their phone? There are thousands of cases surfacing where abusive partners use smart home technology to terrorize their victims. Imagine you are sitting at home, and suddenly the music blasts at full volume. You turn it off, it turns back on. The lights start strobing on and off. The thermostat cranks up to 90 degrees, then drops to freezing. You try to use your key code to get in the front door, but the code has been changed remotely. This is gaslighting on a digital scale. It makes the victim feel like they are going crazy. And because the admin of the smart home account is usually the person who set it up, often the tech-savvy partner, the victim has no way to stop it. They can't just unplug the house. Shelters for domestic violence victims are now having to train their staff on how to scan for AirTags and hidden smart cameras because abusers are tracking their victims even after they manage to escape. It's a terrifying reality, where the tools designed for convenience become weapons of psychological warfare. And currently, the law hasn't really caught up to this. If someone hits you, that's assault. If someone changes the temperature of your house remotely to make you miserable, police often don't know what to do with that. And finally, we have to talk about ownership. The climax of our problem here is a concept called bricking. When you buy a wooden chair, you own that chair. If the company that made the chair goes out of business, you can still sit on it. But when you buy a smart hub, you aren't buying a product. You are buying a service. You are buying permission to access their server. A couple of years ago, a company called Insteon, which was a huge player in the smart home game, just disappeared. One day, thousands of people woke up and their light switches didn't work. Their sensors were dead. The app wouldn't load. The company had shut down their servers without warning. People had spent thousands of dollars outfitting their entire homes with this gear, and overnight it became e-waste. It was garbage. This is the risk you take. You don't actually own your smart home. You are renting functionality from a company that could go bankrupt, get bought out, or just decide they don't want to support your device anymore. We see this with big companies too. Sonos did it with their older speakers. Google has shut down support for older Nest products. They call it sunsetting. I call it stealing. Imagine if Ford came to your driveway and took the engine out of your car because they release a new model. That is exactly what happens in the smart home world. So what does this leave us? Are we supposed to just go back to the Stone Age and use candles? No, but we have to stop being naive.
You have to change the way you look at these devices. Don't put smart cameras inside your house. Keep them pointing outside. Put tape over cameras you aren't using. Use a separate Wi-Fi network for your smart devices, so if your light bulb gets hacked, they can't get to your laptop. And most importantly, when you buy something, ask yourself, if the internet goes down, does this still work? If the answer is no, don't buy it. A light switch should still be a switch, even if the Wi-Fi is broken. We need to stop trading our freedom for a slightly easier way to turn on the music. The convenience is great, but the cost, your privacy, your safety, and your control is way higher than the price tag on the box.